how does CoolTone work? What is CoolTone? Who's it right for? And what's the difference between CoolTone and other procedures in the CoolSculpting portfolio, like the CoolSculpting Elite? My name is Jessie. I am the founder and one of the CoolSculpting and CoolTone providers at Element Body Lab, the Dallas CoolSculpting experts. And CoolTone is a part of the CoolSculpting portfolio, and it's a procedure specifically designed to help strengthen, firm, and tone the muscles of the abdomen, buttocks, and thighs. So it is FDA cleared to do just that: strengthen, tone, and firm. The three different areas that you can treat are abdomen, buttocks, and thighs. So if you're looking for more muscle definition in the abs, in the glutes, or even through the quads or the hamstrings, the front or the back of the legs, then CoolTone can be a great treatment. And I do want to talk about who is a great candidate for it or who may be ideal. But I also want to encourage you to schedule a consultation, because just like CoolSculpting, CoolTone is a medical treatment. It's a medical procedure, and who the treatment is right for is going to depend largely on your medical history. In order for us to say, yes, this is safe and it's a great option for you, you'll need a medical evaluation. That being said, as long as you don't have specific conditions, usually there aren't any issues, but we'll get into a little bit more of that later on in this video. So CoolSculpting works using these paddles. Looks like this. This is my actual CoolSculpting machine back behind me. These paddles get placed on our targeted area. So much like the abdomen, the glutes, the thighs, we can use one or two of these paddles depending on your skeletal structure. So for some people, we can fit two of these paddles on the abdomen. For other people, it's just one. If we're doing glutes, we put one on each side of the booty. If we're doing thighs, one on each leg. And then what happens is it is a 30-minute active treatment. And within that treatment, there's an electrical current. This uses magnetic muscle stimulation to engage the muscles. It's an electrical current that runs in this coil and generates that magnetic field. And when we increase the current, the magnetic field also increases. And what that translates to is an increased muscle contraction. So we place this applicator on, and then we let the treatment run for 30 minutes. And during that 30 minutes, we're causing these super maximal contractions of the muscles, which equates to essentially doing 20,000 squats or 20,000 actually crunches within that 30-minute window. So breaking this down and looking at what actually happens within a treatment, there are 4 phases within the treatment itself. The first phase is a warm-up phase where we're basically just saying, here, let's get your muscles all fired. Let's get everything just moving. Then there's a muscle toning and firming segment. So we talked about it's FDA cleared to strengthen, tone, and firm the muscles. So that's kind of phase 2. Then we move into phase 3, which is the strengthening phase. This is where we're actually helping increase that muscle strength, which in turn will help amplify the workouts that you're already doing. It'll help amplify those exercise programs that you already have at home. And then last, we've got a cool down period. Now within each of these little phases, you can see in this graph, there's active recovery built in. The reason that active recovery is very important is that is how we are helping flush out the lactic acid buildup to where you don't go home feeling extraordinarily sore. So again, it's the equivalent of doing 20,000 squats or 20,000 crunches all while laying on a bed for between 20 and 30 minutes, depending on the part of the body we're treating. It's FDA cleared to strengthen, tone, and firm the muscles of the abdomen, buttocks, or thighs. And we can customize CoolTone much like we can customize CoolSculpting based on what it is that you're looking to treat. How aggressive of results are you looking for? Are you just looking to feel a little stronger? Or are you looking to increase that muscle mass or muscle tone? But from a frequency perspective, what you should expect is an initial series of treatments, whether that's a series of 6, a series of 8, or a series of 12, and we can design that based on your goals. But assuming we're looking at a series of 6 treatments, which is the base recommendation for anyone, we're looking at an initial series, 6 individual treatment days, each lasting 30 minutes, and we'll schedule those every 2 to 4 days. So that can look like 2 a week for 3 weeks or 3 a week for 2 weeks, just depending on how aggressive you are looking. Now, my personal preference would be 3 a week for 2 weeks if I was doing 6. You could double down on that if you were looking to really amp up your muscle mass or really amp up your results from a CoolTone perspective. So this is what you can expect as far as how CoolSculpting works and how often you'll be in for your treatment. Now, just like I mentioned, everything we do here at Element Body Lab is customized. So much like your CoolSculpting recommendations can be customized, your CoolTone recommendations will be customized. So depending on that goal, we will say, hey, you should start with 6, you should start with 8, you should start with 12. And depending on that recommendation, your cost will actually fluctuate as well. So we will talk more about CoolTone cost. You can find information about cost of CoolTone as well as any sales that we have running on our website, elementbodylab.com, or on our Instagram page. Our Instagram handle is @elementbodylab in case you're checking this out on YouTube. If you're following us on Instagram, then just check the link in our Instagram bio. It will have any of the relevant details. Now, how CoolTone and CoolSculpting work together before I sign off, I think that's really important to know because sometimes people say, well, how do I know which one's right for me? Where do I start? So CoolTone addresses muscle and CoolSculpting addresses fat. So if you've got a fluffy layer of fat lying on top of the muscle wall, it doesn't matter how much strengthening we do unless we get rid of that fat. So if your goal is to get rid of fat, I would say let's do CoolSculpting. If your goal is to build muscle, I would say let's do CoolTone. If you have done quite a bit of CoolSculpting in the past and we really have run out of places to treat, CoolTone may be a great way for you to enhance your CoolSculpting results. Because if we get rid of all that fat, what do we want to see? We want to see strong, lean muscles in our abs. We want a nice, firm booty. So these are great ways that you can actually have these treatments work together. And also keeping in mind, these are actually 1 pound models of fat versus muscle, so you can see the difference in volume. So sometimes people want that muscle toning to really help strengthen and pull everything in. I know I am a mom and my ab muscles just don't feel the same after I carried a baby inside of me. And I'm really excited about my CoolTone treatments on my abdomen to really help pull everything in because my CoolSculpting results have held up really nicely, even amidst pregnancy, amidst delivering, and now full recovery. I'm back at my pre-pregnancy size, if that's even a real thing. But I'm back to that weight that I wanted to be, but I feel like the muscles just never really feel as connected as they did. So I'm really excited about what my CoolTone journey will look like, and you can stay tuned for that. I will post all about it as my journey unfolds. You can see some before and afters on our Instagram page and on our website as well. And if you're looking for advice around who CoolSculpting is right for, or what to do first, or how many treatments will you need, what's the recommendation for you, my advice is to schedule a consultation. And I know I say that a lot. If you have followed me on any platform or have seen me talk on video before, you've heard me talk about the importance of a consultation. But the reason is that everything we do is customized and we want to give you our best advice, but that best advice will be unique to you. And the only way we can discover what your goals are and take a look at your anatomy is to do a consultation. We do them virtually or in person. But keep in mind, we are a business located in Dallas, Texas. So if you are outside of DFW and not willing to travel to our facility, then you'll have to find a provider or a practice near you. I encourage you find someone who has CoolSculpting Elite technology and CoolTone because they're going to be well versed in the differences in fat and muscle. They'll be well versed in what treatments may be ideal for you. I also really recommend picking a CoolSculpting dedicated practice because they'll be dedicated to that CoolSculpting portfolio. That way you know you're getting the best advice based off of this specific really great portfolio of procedures and products. And also make sure that they're really well trained. I myself am part of the AMI faculty, so Allergan Medical Institute faculty. So I am a national trainer on the technology. And I love what it is that I do. Both myself and Jen, the other provider here at Element Body Lab, the Dallas CoolSculpting experts, have performed hundreds and thousands of treatments between the two of us, just thousands and thousands. She's performed over 800 and I've got years and years of experience. So I would love to be a resource to you. I'd love to answer any questions that you do have. And I'd be honored to guide you in your CoolSculpting and CoolTone journey. I hope this was helpful as you start to do that research. And don't forget book a consult. We'd love to see you in office. Until then, have a good one.